excited.
Yep. And Agador.
Agador loves Heather.
Oh, he loves everybody, but I love his pretty singing. So Nancy thought I would be like, oh, he's going to sing us into our live.
Yes.
Such a pretty boy. Hello, everybody. It's another start of the week. It's Monday, but it's named after the moon, after the goddess. So happy Moon Day. That's what it was originally called and referred to. So thank you for coming by and hanging out with us this evening. And we have Roots and Waves. Ange, hello, my dear. And Susan, thank you for understanding. Feel free to stay if you like. We're just very positive and uplifting here. We have very open and honest conversations, especially with the divine feminine. And so if you feel like you want to hang out and still, maybe even get a divine feminine reading, just, we'll pull a card just for you from the divine feminine. We can do that as well. So we have Lynn Hayes. Happy Monday. Wanted to share with you that I got the Rooted Woman Oracle this weekend, and it's amazing.
Oh,
nice. Now that I think that's a deck you have, right?
Not the rooted woman, but I think that's an
I've heard of it.
Deck. Is it?
Oh, really?
Felon's deck? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. So many new decks are coming out.
Wish list, but I just have to stop.
I know. Especially when you go on Amazon and you see them on, less,
Or you have to be careful. You have to look for that
yes.
IC or IPBN or whatever they call it, that code.
But when you go to like Barnes and Noble for me, which is about a 15-20 minute drive, maybe a little longer depending on traffic, and you see it for like, say, a deck that I've been wanting, like $26, you go on Amazon, it's like, oh, it's $20 and I can get it tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
I mean, exactly. I mean, they've got
Hello Flowing
up pretty much, don't they?
Yes. Hello Flowing, Carmela, my dear, and Dancing Soul Sister. Welcome back. It's good to see you. I love that picture of yours, just kind of standing there. For me, I don't know if it's dawn or dusk, but for me, Shan, I love twilight. So just standing out there, especially when I was younger, as the grass is starting to get that dew, and it's getting nice and cool, and you can smell my dad's freshly cut grass and my mom's flower beds, and just, listening to the crickets and the memories. So yes, love that. Hello and namaste to you too, my dear. And let's see who else we have. We have a cherry and a sun from Ant. He is a beautiful singer. Yes, he is Flowing. Did you hear that, Agador? And while we're here, I have a wonderful little announcement to make. Dolly Wolfgirl Oracle is having a surgery, and it's going to take her a couple weeks to get her shoulder back, working and stuff. So in a couple weeks, we're going to be scheduling a show with Nancy, with Linda De Gonzalez, and with Dolly Wolfgirl Oracle. And it's going to be called Birds, something like Birds. I think we said Birds of a Feather or something, because all these wonderful ladies have beautiful birds as animal totems in their lives. And I have a beautiful cardinal that comes and sings to me every now and then, and I call him Freddie. So hopefully Freddie will be able to make an appearance, but they're going to join me for
night. He was chirping last night outside the window, wasn't he? I heard a bird chirp.
He might have been. We have several different types that come in. Usually Freddie likes to come around the mornings, like in the early afternoons. But he's just beautiful, beautiful bright red cardinal. When the sky is blue and he's in that green tree, he just pops. You know. So I'm looking forward to these lovely three ladies and their birds. Everybody knows Ruben, loves to talk and chatter. Dolly's bird at African Gray. Mm-hmm.
Not that you aren't, Agador. You're amazing too.
And Linda De Gonzalez has all those birds, and Wanda. I can't remember the name of her. I know it's some sort of cockatoo, I believe, that loves to come and sit on her lap or on her shoulder and likes to sing. So I thought, what a beautiful. And my grandmother used to have used to always love saying, "Well, this is for the birds." And so I just thought one day that just warmed my heart when I thought of these three
Mhm.
ladies, and I sent an email, and they all agreed to join me. So in a couple of weeks, stay tuned. We'll see that coming up
Yeah,
and being
Dolly and
planned.
I are having surgery the same day. Only she's having her shoulder done, and I'm having my right eye done,
Oh, okay.
my cataracts. So
So making sure we send all that positive healing
yeah,
energy to Dolly and to Nancy. Um, nice, easy, smooth, perfectly, go in, surgery, everything comes out smoothly, everything
yeah.
heals nicely in the time it's supposed to. And hello, Amanda. Viviani is here. I know Heather's been chatting. And the chat is jumping. Love that name for a show. I think that's what we had come up with. I have to look, but I get creative. I love playing with names and stuff for shows.
Mhm.
And I hope Dolly heals quickly. Me too.
Yeah.
She's wonderful energy. I'm so happy
Oh
to have her
goodness.
back in my inner circle again. It's nice to have her. Amanda said, I just had rotator cuff
Oh,
surgery back in February. So it takes a while to heal, but she wants to be able to be comfortable. So if she goes to shuffle cards,
oh yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. She
but
needs to
thank
think for
you.
herself for a while.
Yes. Self care for all of us.
Hmm.
So everybody that's joining, thank you for being here. It's good to see everyone. And how do we want to start, Nancy? We both had things that we wanted to share and to bring. Did you want me to start with the goddess for
Yeah, why
100?
don't you do
Okay.
that, and then I'll read what you wanted me to read from the beginning of this the
Yes, Nancy's
box.
got some
Yeah.
wonderful quotes and things from a deck her and I both have. Um, so let's see. And hello, Judith just popped in. Hello, Judith. So I have my book, Goddess Days, and here goes my hair. Everybody, if you're wondering why I have this little horn sticking out of my head, I have a fan going. It's warm here now in Western New York, so time for the fan. And it's a goddess for every day of the year. And so I calculated, here, let me fix my hair because now it's all righty, getting in my face. And so what I did is I calculated, the days already for this year, and I came up with 141 because we did have that leap day this year, that extra day in February. And I got the goddess, Mama. Oops, where am I here? Mama Kia or
Oh,
Kia. And her phrase is seek natural ways to feel good. So again, talking about self-care. Perfect going into for who was Amanda, who just had her surgery for her shoulder. And everybody going into surgeries or recuperating right now. And so Mama Kia is the Peruvian golden mother of the moon. Mama Kia is the living sky calendar. Feast
mm.
days were established according to her phases and changes. Look up and listen up. When it's full for me, it's full for you, Mama Kia sings. I'm your emotional, psychic, and mental mentor, guiding, nudging, and tugging you along a cosmic connection ride. Do
Mm.
not lose sight of me, for I am your golden guardian of mysterious creation and subtle vibrations. Take your time today. Rushing is a terrible affliction. Work addiction is the drug of choice for those who feel undeserving. Are you falling into exhaustion, collapsing into a stupor from so much busyness? Unhealthy, habitual work patterns must end. Periodic rests are paramount to your health. You don't have to do it all. Get in touch with your personal tidal rhythms. Keeping a menstrual moon journal can help you understand your bleeding cycle and the times when you're most apt to be intuitively connected. You can then tap into your psychic abilities, going with the flow rather than pushing against yourself. Only you can know what is in your heart and how you want to share it. Express feelings in clear and appropriate ways. Physical exercise is a vital component of any spiritual program. Plan a moon ritual for the next full moon or new moon. And her affirmation is, I listen carefully to my body's messages. I take time to renew my energy. And boy, if that isn't spot on and point on for exactly what we're going through right now in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody in their phones, everybody in their computers, technology going here, going there, rushing. I mean, this is just, this was an important message. That's why I love these for the collective, you know?
Well, you were talking earlier about how in a hurry everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, uh, well, as you get older, I mean, I don't hurry. I mean, life's too short to hurry and be frantic. But
Mm-hmm.
there's so much, I mean, like when you travel in a car, people are going way too fast.
Oh
'Cause
my
they're in a-
goodness.
I mean, it
I
just
look in the mirror and they're like, and I'm even going a little over the speed limit and they're still like out
yeah,
of my way. And then if you're not going to go fast enough that they're going, they just like whip around you and then they whip back in front of you. They go in and out of traffic. And it's like,
yeah,
you don't even know what a turn signal is anymore.
yeah,
I had to hit the brake a couple of weeks ago because someone decided, oh, stop sign. I don't need to stop for a stop sign.
yeah.
And this was at that same Walmart, Nancy, I was telling you about just before coming
Yeah.
on. Hello, Fatima, my dear. Good
Yes,
to see
bless.
you. And I believe today is Victoria Day, so happy Victoria Day. Next week it'll be Memorial Day for us here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And Dancing Soul Sister said, I envy you for it's out of print. The few which are available are too expensive. Wow. This was actually a gift to me from my I call her my mother-in-law. Shannon and I never married, but when she was alive, she treated me, very nicely. A lot, a lot of mother-in-laws don't. And when I got the book, it actually came in a little box. Excuse me, and it has a little goddess figure with a hole for to put incense. And usually
Oh,
I can spot her, but I've been moving stuff around, so yes, I've never let that book go. I've always held on to that book.
yeah,
So
that's special.
uh, it sure is. And
Mm-hmm.
Floyd says, I don't hurry anymore. I want a peaceful life.
Yeah.
Me too, Amanda. I get whiplash every time I'm in the car with my husband. Oh, good Lord, Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hurry is not for me anymore. I refrained my pace. Yep. Goddess in the box. Yes, exactly. And happy Victoria Day. Blessing to all Canadians.
Aw.
So, Nancy, what would you like to share next?
Oh, well, we were talking about this deck that I have, the Wild Woman Rising, by Angie Sullins and Jenna Della Gritalia.
Yes.
And on the inside of the box, I mean, this is a really enchanting deck, but look at this wolf.
Mm.
But here, this is what it says, and it's
This is beautiful.
perfect for us today.
Yeah.
Sink yourself into the feathered red sleeve of your ancestors, and rise, woman, rise again, for you are Persephone's daughter, Lilith's lover, Eve's heir. Find the truth, eat the fruit, unmask the myth, and let it burn.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Let it burn.
Let it
When
burn.
women used to be drummers and we would dance around the fire,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got that book.
Did you?
Book about the drummers book, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Awesome. Yeah, it's in my bedroom, but
Nancy got a book she was discussing last week when women were drummers. So
yeah,
it's also okay. That's why they had a bee on my Bing page. Okay, so today's the day of the bee. So it must be National Bee Day.
What about that?
Wonderful. And bees, of course, associated with the goddess.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some, now when we were talking backstage, Nancy, when we were talking about the definition of them putting the divine masculine and divine feminine,
Uh-huh.
did you want to share that
Yeah, let me go back.
definition? That was
I
interesting.
Googled it, and I would be interested to see what you all think, because I had never really I mean, I know about I know what the divine feminine is, and the divine masculine, I sort of equated it with the counterpart, different, but that we all have both the divine feminine
Mm-hmm.
and the divine masculine. Um and this is what it says. Now this is just a Google answer. So,
Mm-hmm.
divine masculine and divine feminine are concepts that have been present in many spiritual traditions and belief systems throughout history. They are energy that all humans embody because we were created from both. Divine masculine is the seed or idea from which the universe is born, while divine feminine gives birth to the universe. Divine masculine is the consciousness itself, while divine feminine is everything we experience around us. And,
Mm-hmm.
and it says divine masculine is about asserting yourself, being confident, and stating your wants and needs out loud. Divine feminine's energy strengthens, might be reflection, compromise, and self nurturing. This energy grounds us in our external world, while feminine energy brings us closer to our inward world. And I just wondered what y'all thought about that.
Because I know Nancy, because I know when they said that the male was conscious and the woman wasn't, I'm like,
I had a problem with that too.
that part I have a problem with. They
Mhm.
are both conscious. Well, it depends too spiritually. They can be, and again, this is like I was telling Nancy, us humans, we have, because of being human and having this human experience, we kind of have to put labels on everything to be able to understand it, to grasp it.
Yeah.
And so, for some, like with any practice with paganism or Wicca, some it doesn't matter if you're, because witches don't necessarily follow a religion or a spirituality because it just be magic wise, but there's that energy, that concept of god and goddess. Some
Mhm.
people, it's just the energy that we're all made up of, and
Mhm.
that us humans give it a face or a name because us humans, we see ourselves, we see the male and the female, so then we have to assume, or we make the assumption that our divinity is going to be the same as us, because a lot of times too we're told that we are god goddess, and I believe it's more of the energy, but to, and for some, the god and the goddess are very real, they're very conscientious, and um, for those who follow that spiritual path,
Mhm.
I can immediately see that that would be an issue for them in
Yeah.
that particular
Yeah.
statement. For me, even though I don't follow a traditional, because people don't realize Wicca is a religion. It is an established, recognized religion, and for me, I kind of steer away from religions just because it's there's tradition, there's a dogma to it,
Mhm.
there is, and so for me, even in pay, I wanted to remain more solitary, more eclectic, because for me, my spirituality is flowing. It changes, it shifts, it moves. And for them, for me personally, them saying that the masculine in this instant has a consciousness, but then to say, no matter what it is that you believe, that the feminine doesn't, that's where I have the issue.
Yeah. Dancing Soul Sister says patriarchy is perverted divine masculine. And it
Mm-hmm.
is. You know, men don't cry.
Yeah.
Just all of this stuff. My husband was very sensitive. He could just cry at the drop of a hat, and I always admired him for that, because he let his feelings show. You know, and
Yeah.
he was very protective of his family, but
Mm-hmm.
he was very loving towards his humankind and the people around him. He would bring people home like that were having trouble, like their car broke down and it was going to take. I mean, he was the deputy sheriff. His their car broke down, and they were coming. Well, this one family was coming back from a vacation,
Mm-hmm.
and it was going to take a couple of days to get the car part. And he was a drill instructor at Camp Lejeune, and it was the husband and the wife and two children, and they stayed with us for 3 days. Because their
Mm-hmm.
money was gone from their vacation, and they didn't really have any place to stay because they had to pay for the
Mm-hmm.
car getting. But I mean, I loved that about him. I mean, he would never bring home somebody that wasn't safe because he could take care of that if he had to. But
Yeah. Oh, and Fatima says, my husband cries. Nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
So
oh
does
no, I
mine.
think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, he tries to hold it because, he doesn't want to upset me and with the things that I'm going through. And sometimes he still kind of buys a little bit into the crime, but, um, you know, it's okay. A few
yeah.
weeks ago,
That's
he broke down and cried because we've been through a lot. And
yeah,
just to be
yeah,
able to, and he's like, I'm sorry. And I said, honey, don't be sorry. It's
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
you know. And yes, oops, that's truly generous, Nancy. It was. She shared
Mhm.
some amazing stories about her husband, Ricky.
Oh
Wish I
yeah,
could have met that man. My
yeah.
dad had a big heart. Aw.
And he used to say, because I mean, he saw a lot of really rough stuff, and he used to say, "Revenge is best served cold." But as he got older and sicker, he forgave everybody that he had ever had any kind of strife or, I mean,
Mhm.
he had a pure heart. And I was really proud of him because sometimes when people do things that are really horrible, it's hard to forgive, you
Mhm.
know, and it's hard to forget. But he was able to do that, and I was very proud of him. And it was a lesson to me and also our children. You know,
And you see a lot more of that now too, because back in the day we didn't have the internet where we were seeing all this happening, and now it's like every time you turn on your phone, that's what the news immediately wants to share. This parent, hurt or killed their kid, or they hurt this person and this person, and it's just you get inundated, and it's just like it's those times where you just see that the balance is so needed.
hmm
um and it almost seems like there's so much more of it nowadays, and I'm wondering if that's because there's so many people wanting to bring the change necessary, that they are starting to embrace a different way of thinking, that the old ways, the old paradigms, they're still, because they're connected to the news, the media, it's run by these corporations. They're throwing more and more to try to maybe regain a little bit of more control again. But I think as a collective, if we just keep staying, that's like I don't watch the news. I'll hear every now and then what's going on, and people are like, well, don't you care what's going on? Yes, but I can't let that detract from my life. I need to keep my mood up. I need to keep living my life. I
yeah.
don't want to give my peace of mind, my joy over to people who,
Well,
it's so
it's
that's true.
daunting, but I excuse me. I think it's our not our job, maybe our mission would be a better word
Hmm.
to look toward the light and try and inspire the light in us
Hmm.
for other people. Because when you go out, I don't know, COVID just did a number on all of us. I think it messed us
Hmm.
all up as far as our interaction with people. And
It
children don't want to
worsened
go to
it.
school anymore. I mean, the older, like teenagers, they want to stay at home, they want to work from home, they want to be at home or hanging out with their friends, they don't want to be in school. And I think this spiritual process that's going on requires us to try really really hard to be a light, and for
Hmm.
people to realize that, we don't have to get caught up in all this negativity. I mean, it's hard not to,
Yeah.
but I mean, we have to if we're going to be the light workers that we are. I mean, at least that's the way I feel.
I've been
And
starring a couple of comments. Amanda said, "My husband is very sensitive and will cry when he needs to. I love that he is more connected to his sensitive side." That's
yes,
beautiful, Amanda, because that's
yes,
that's that's a rarity, these days. But I'm seeing, well, in my area, I'm not seeing as much. Where I live, I see the same patterns repeating over and over and over again, and it breaks my heart. It really does.
yeah,
And Ange said, "We live in a predominantly masculine world, power, control, greed dominating. I feel we all could benefit from tapping more into more of our feminine energies, a yin and yang." And a lot of women feel like they have to also to survive in this world. If they want to, have a career, they have to go the power, the control, the greed, the dominating as well. And
mhm,
that's why I hate a lot of these reality shows where these women are being competed against each other for a man, and they're calling themselves, excuse my language, bitches and hoes, and doing all these awful
yeah.
things to one another. And what, just, you know to land a man or to get 15 minutes of fame, these kind of things that are kind of being put out into the world for us, for the younger women. There's just so much.
Well, I'm sure that we all know. I mean, I hope that none of us are like this. But I had a girlfriend, and she equated herself, her self-esteem, her good health esteem, if she had a man. If she didn't, there was this huge hole in her, and I always felt
Mm,
sorry for her because I think that we have to be enough.
yes.
And in being enough, then we can share it with our helpmeet, or I mean, whoever is in our life. And I think that attracts more of the person that we need to be with, or that we, if that's what we want to do. um
And
but I
Agador
have
agrees.
never, pardon me.
And Agador agrees.
Yeah,
He started
Aguilar,
chirping
he's my
right away when
guy.
he started saying that. Yeah, I love it.
But I think it's very, very important. Let's see, the trap of
Oh,
being kind of a better man.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Flowing said her parents had a small business. Everybody was fed, even those who didn't have enough money. And that's one of the things that John Bon Jovi did.
Mm,
With his fame and his money, he opened up that restaurant in New Jersey. I believe it's still open. And it's, you pay, for families, you pay what you can. And if you don't have the money, come feed your family, come get something to eat. If you can stay after, help maybe clean some dishes, wash some floors. It all became a part of the community. And this is somebody who had all those millions of dollars, who
hmm.
actually, could you imagine, with all the people who have more money than he does, all these, you know,
Yeah.
trillionaire. I mean, there are a couple trillionaires, I think, in this world. And it's just like, if that, just a small portion of that would just be brought, to help everybody, what a difference.
My grandmother, my mother was born and raised in Augusta, Georgia, and during the Depression, my mother was born in 1906. So during the Depression, she was working, and but she was still at home, and there were a lot of homeless people. There were a lot of hobos, that caught the trains and traveled that
Mm-hmm.
way. And of all the houses on the street, the hobos would always stop at my grandmother's house, my grandfather's house, and she would bring a plate out to them on the front porch, in good, her good china, I mean, her good
Mm-hmm.
dishes, and feed them whatever they were having. And
Hi, Kristen.
we later found out that the house was marked. They had marked the house that you could get food here, that this was a kind lady.
Oh,
That's why everybody came. But she never um, begrudged a single bite to anybody. And there was this lady, this old lady that lived not too far from them. And she was kind of like in an old rundown house. And my grandmother would, take food to her and, you know, um, mend her clothes and just all kinds of things like that. And she took from whatever anybody would give her. And when she died, she had a fortune that she left to relatives that had never even darkened her door, and yet she accepted all that charity from people.
Beautiful.
I thought
And
interesting.
And Amanda has been sharing too. Yeah, we need more people. You know, you must protect your energy and space in high positive vibration from the outside negative things. When your light shines bright, it reflects outward and travels through the world. And yes, I agree with that. But what I've also noticed too is that sometimes we're going to have days, there are going to be times in our life where we can't sustain that. And I have noticed in some circles that if you drop that light, if you drop that positivity and you're not on top of it 100% all the time, then whatever, comes your way is, your fault and your doing and your creation. And it's just like, we also have to be mindful too, and compassionate with ourselves, that keeping something that high vibration can be very exhausting. And being human, we are going to have days where we cannot maintain that. And that's when you have people in your community, in your tribe, in your
Yeah,
circle,
yeah,
hold that space for you until
yeah.
you are able to.
Well, that's what
uh,
it's all about. At least that's
mhm,
what it should be all about. And I
mhm,
think a lot of people have either forgotten it or they were never raised with the concept,
mhm.
and that is that is sad. It used to be back in the day that churches helped people and not the
Ours did.
government, or the
Mhm,
people from the church would. And now we expect our
mhm.
government to do it all the time. But anyhow,
Well, some
we're
companies do. I mean, some countries do have it where the government does take care of their people. It's becoming less.
mm,
We're seeing it on YouTube that there are certain countries that are kind of starting to pull back on some things, but there are countries who give their residents, their citizens, a livable income every month, which allows them to be able to pursue trades, crafts, things that they're passionate about, and that they can turn around and help and it makes their
mm,
country and their people a better place to live. And those are getting fewer in between, and that's why we just really need to be mindful, as a
right.
and at the same time not trying to be like fear mongering, but just being mindful. People think you got to be mindful, oh my goodness, constantly, again, 24/7. But just having those moments where, I mean, look, I mean, our country, I mean, the state that it's in, but at the
Mm,
same time, it's like, as bad as it can get here, there are other countries where women, men have far less, especially women. And so making those lists on those at those times when things get really rough, I just remind myself that, you know, 13 years ago, we were going hungry.
mm-hmm,
We might be just making ends meet now, with what we have, but we've got food on their table every night and
mm-hmm,
every day. We have a roof over our head. We got a bed to sleep in. We have our fur babies. So there's those little things when you start making a list, it helps lighten the load, a little bit. And Amanda says we are all human and can't be happy 24/7. We
that's
all
right.
deserve,
That's
yeah.
right. But when we have the support of each other, and
Oh,
you can come into a chat. I love what Judith said. You can come into a
thank
chat
you,
and you feel
Judy.
supported and loved and
Hmm.
embraced. That makes all the difference in the world. And
It
some
does.
people who don't have this interaction
Mhm.
like we're having right now, they don't understand it. But I think that we all know how powerful it is.
Mhm. It's beautiful. And so light shadow, we all experience some darkness, and that's part of the human experience, you know. And when I was starting to go through some really bad phases when we first left Arizona, all this that I took my Reiki training with, they were like, well, you know, you got to meditate, you got to be in that positive energy, because if you're
Mm-hmm.
not putting out that positive energy and you're putting out that negative and that fear, you're the one that's bringing that to you. And it was just kind of like, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. And it was just, and that's why all these years it's really taken me this long to start reconnecting again, you know, and starting to find what I found joy in and connection with, working with healing energy and with my crystals, and again with my cards in the community. And even of late there are some, you know, channels that I really I don't resonate with, or I really don't go to, because that kind of the same thing happened to me again with, well, you got to be positive. You can't bring people down and bring your energy down, and you got to say this and you got to do that. And it's
Yeah.
just like, you know, so for all of us, we're all in different places, and we just need to be mindful and hold that space for each other, you know. And Judith, we haven't started, you know, doing cards yet. So if your daughter Celine would like one.
Celine put her comment in. It's above.
Oh, did I miss Celine? I'm
Yeah,
sorry, sweetheart.
that's her daughter.
Oh, is Celine in the chat, or
She just joined. Judith told her that, um,
oh, she's joined, but I don't know if Celine is in the chat though. I see
yeah, she's
Judith.
right there, Selena Amanda Simple. Hello, everyone. It's
Oh, there we go. She's at my bottom. It takes a while sometimes to pop up.
yeah.
There we go. Hello, Celine. Thank you for joining us. And so the deck I brought today is also artwork by Jenna Della. No, wait a minute. No, your Witch Oracle. That's by and her husband. I can't think of his name because I don't have the book in front of me. But the book cards I'm using today is the Resurrection Oracle by Jenna Della Gratalia. She's the artist that works with Angie Sullins, works with Ina Segal. She's done almost all of Colette Baron Reed's decks, except for the last one. And this particular deck I was really excited for. Beautiful artwork as always. And she is the author and the creator. So this is her whole project right here. And there was an opening introduction that I just wanted to share. And it says here, welcome to your life. Here is a place that is complex, full of events, emotions, and moments that shape us continually. It is beautiful, it is messy, and it is sweet and sour. Life constantly changes us, forcing us to naturally resurrect and have a metamorphic experience. This oracle deck is meant as a guide, not a blueprint. Welcome to the next part of your journey. So I just wanted to read that little introduction
Mm.
to that. And I also have the Healing Heart Oracle 2 here on the other side that I'm going to be pulling from as well. And she did the artwork too. So let me go ahead. So I know Judith. Let me start you, and let me get Celine. Oh, really? Here, Kristen Louise said, if someone is saying they never feel negative feelings, they are denying themselves the wealth and depth that all the human emotions can offer. Wow,
Yeah.
Kristen. And you know what was surprising with me, with this friend of mine, was that her sister had been murdered.
Mm.
And so she went through extreme I mean, she saw the darkness, she lived the darkness. So looking back and kind of thinking maybe that's why she worked so hard to stay in that mindset and wanted to try getting me to stay in that mindset, because maybe she didn't want me to go to there as well. But you know, it is a depth. I mean, this is what we all come here supposedly to learn, you know, are these and I'm just going to do this because I see Celine's name. Sometimes we simply outgrow people. We just grow apart, and that's okay. Yes, it is, because we learned something from them, and we take something that's beautiful. So if anybody would like a, whoops, where's my comments? I just clicked on the wrong one. Let me just go ahead and put up our regular little ticker. And let me, okay. No, I do not want to go there. Oh, Kristen, you are right. Beautiful. Oh, that's not, see, this is what I like about our chats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, So we'll get started then. Oh, I don't know if I shared this. Amanda had also put in the chat, I had started earlier. About 8 years ago, I sold some of my heirloom jewelry my deceased parents gave me to buy food for families in need for Thanksgiving. I bought 21 complete meals, including the turkey, and donated it.
Oh,
Wow, man, that's why when Shannon and I can do a little bit,
yeah.
we do that because we've been hungry. But right now, with the cost of everything going up, and then taking more and more from our benefits every month, it makes it hard for us to donate to help others. So it's beautiful that you were able to make that difference for those families. So
Are we
we'll
going
start.
to for Celine first because she's new?
Well, we have Judith. Well, I was going to have us do Judith and then Celine, but if you want
Oh,
to do Celine,
okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just needed to know who I'm going to pull.
Judith.
Judith. Okay. Does Judith
Okay.
have a question or is it just a?
No, we're just doing the regular polls.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
Let's see, Leah, we're going to just be doing polls for the divine feminine. Take the message, and if you feel that it relates to your business, um, then apply that. But this is just, messages from the divine feminine, not specific questions. Let me see. But it's good to see you, Leah. It's been a while, a little bit. So, Ange, I got you. Amanda, I have you. Um, well, Judith, we're going to go ahead and do yours first, but Celine will definitely be right after you. We have plenty of time. And so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle mine. And I will be using the book because I'm still learning this beautiful. I've got so many new decks lately. I still have to refer to the books for some of the additional insights into the cards. It's okay, Judith. We were already pulling cards for you, my dear. Oops. I just hit my mouse. There we go. Okay. Are you still shuffling, Nancy?
No,
Are you ready?
I've got my 3 cards. I'm just studying them a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, you want me to go first then while you're studying
yes,
them?
please, and then I'll follow you on this one.
Okay. Hey, Jeff. I love the bird. Me too. We all do. His name is Agador. Okay, Leah, let me just go ahead and start you really quick. Okay. So, Judith, I have feast or famine. And it's interesting, we were just discussing that. Us being able to give to others who are in need. And there was a time when a lot of our grandparents, our earlier generations, struggled with making ends meet and having food on the table, especially with large families. And I just love that, the apples, the harvest. And one of the interesting symbols with apples that you don't typically get is that apples actually represent love. Scott Cunningham, in his herbal dictionary of herbal or flower book, apples were not only seen as a spiritual representation of the divine feminine and the goddess, because when you cut the apple, you get that beautiful pentacle, you get all the elements represented inside that pentacle. It was a food that couples would give to each other. They would put their love into it, the feelings of love, and they would exchange. So I love how that she used apples. Apples also represent Avalon, again, the goddess. Um, and with here it says, enough is enough. Um, and they say usually we hear this expression. Usually, as a rule of thumb, when we have heard this, it is more than enough. There is great abundance. However, there are leaner times as well. And it says this card is letting you know that as long as you have enough, you are just fine. While having a big bounty is quite a cushy and comfortable place to be, enough is all right too. Keep in mind that more is coming your way and trust more money, more love, and more life. So just keep looking at this beautiful abundance. Keep imagining that abundance continually coming to you. And then the healing heart card that I have for you from her other deck is the remorseful. So it says, forgive and move ahead. So there, this message is that any pains and past traumas, this feast or famine could very well be a famine of not necessarily having financial or monetary um, abundance or food. This could also be emotional support. It could be love. So with these two cards together, is that if there has been a lack of love or feeling of inclusion or a feeling of not having some sort of sense of community, um, or even being raised in the family or having friends that, withheld, because some generations were taught to withhold that, and to be strong and to be brave and go out in the world kind of. And so sometimes, tough love may have hurt us in a very deep and profound way. And so, remorseful heart is to forgive and move ahead. And this is not just for others, but for ourselves as well. So, knowing that, being grateful for what we do have, knowing and trusting that there will always be enough for us, and letting go of the pain of maybe in that fear of that scarcity. Um, and that's what I have. So, I'm going to give you over to Miss Nancy.
Judith, I got three cards for you that flew out at the same time from the same deck. So I'm gonna go with that. It's from the Wild Woman Rising deck. And the first card, I love this. I love this for all of us, but it is create your own paradise. And you know what I think? I think every morning when we wake up, we have the potential to create our own paradise. Um, what our intentions are for the day, embracing the positive, um, trying to help others, remember kindness, and also remember your wings. Um, we're remarkable beings, and we have so much potential, and I think a lot of that gets lost um, in the everyday things that we come across, and we kind of lose sight of the big picture sometimes. And how in a way we can have it all, maybe not externally but internally. And I think that's very, very important, because we and our divine feminine are so important to our mental health, our spiritual health, and actually our physical health. And the final card is the card of intuition. And this is the priestess of intuition. And I think that if you take all four of these suggestions, it will help you every day in coping with whatever comes. And there will be a special secret place that you can go to refresh and restore. And I love that for you, Judith.
It's beautiful. Thank you, Nancy. And Judith says, yes, I have stocked up for hard times and have learned from the past. Me too,
Mhm.
Judith, and that's how we move forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's easy to get into that fear of scarcity because of having lived there and been there once. But there's that fear where you have to kind of learn how to, step back and look at the situation, sit with your
Mhm.
feelings and your emotions, figure out where they're coming from, and then ask whatever your higher powers or your guides to help you navigate, those difficult waters, the difficult emotions. Oh, and look who's here.
And
Hello, Ramon.
we missed you last night with poetry.
Yes, and
Oh,
poetry.
we did.
But
Just thank.
this coming Friday, Ramon is joining Allison and I for our show, and they're going to be discussing the Santa Morte
Ah,
deck. Um, Ramon wants to talk about her and explain, the misunderstandings of the Santa Morte.
ah.
And so both of them have that deck, and they both love it. So they're going to come on, and we're going to have a wonderful discussion, and probably a few readings as well. So looking forward to Friday. And Judith said, yes, Nancy, a very powerful message. And hello, TK. Hugs back to you, my dear. Um, Alrighty, so I went ahead and pulled for Celine already. So this is for Celine. I love that name. Makes me think of Celine Dion and that beautiful song from the Titanic. Boy, what a classic. So, Celine, what I got for you is the here. Let me put myself on the bigger. I have the departure, and just take a really good look at that card. And if it looks like it's someone that's kind of like in shrouds for burial and for the natural cycle of death and decay, it is the card's called the departure, and its keywords are saying goodbye. So the message is saying goodbye. Um, Saying goodbye can be heartbreaking, life altering, as some of the hardest moments you will face. So I'm feeling like this card is talking about something that you have been mourning in, and like the book says here, it doesn't necessarily have to be an actual death of an individual. Um, this could be um, it's a mourning process either of a loved one, but it could be a situation or a relationship. A lot of times for me lately, it is relationships. And it says here, there are so many variables regarding what we mourn. So if there's a part of us that we wish we could be who we used to be, we mourn. I mourn my 20-year-old self a lot because back then I had these big hopes, these dreams, and now that I'm in my 50s, I didn't attain quite a bit of them, and so now it's kind of like, and our bodies change, our healths change, things change in our life, people come and go, and so there's all forms of mourning, and again, we all grieve at different in different ways. I took a group where all it was like 6 or 7 weeks of talking about grief and how this could be the loss of a loved one, whether physically in transitioning to the other side or them leaving our lives. This could be the loss of a pet. They're our family, our loved ones. This could be, having to let go of a traumatic past in our life that we clung to because we felt like, what would we do if we let go of that fear, of that pain? So there are many forms, like they say, are very many variables of mourning and what we can grieve and letting go. It says here, remember there are no rules on how to grieve and never take meaningful relationships for granted. And the card for the healing heart card that goes with it is a patient heart. Move forward and grow. So whatever it is that you have to mourn, release, let go, and to move forward, it might take a while. It might have to be some patience, but to work through it and knowing that grieving part, there will always be a form of grief. I know Nancy lost her husband last year. My friend Amanda, one of my besties, lost her husband last year. So there are a lot of people going through, loss of spouses, of loved ones, and even people that we never met. A lot of us growing up with, our idols. I wouldn't say idols, but people who made music that we grew up with. They're passing away. Again, our friends. I don't want to go off too much again on a tangent, but just having that patience and knowing that time does heal, and to be gentle with yourself, to be kind with yourself, and just continue moving forward with your life and living it to the fullest. I'll give it to Nancy. Oh, where did you go? Oh,
Backstage.
did I knock you out?
No, my
Oh,
son called, and
oh.
sorry about that,
I'm
everybody.
sorry. I looked up and I'm like, oh no, did I knock Nancy out?
And then it was like I was still there, but I couldn't hear you, Heather. So I backed out and came back in. Celine, I have 4 cards for you, and the cards that came out indicate that right now there's like a turning point in your life. You have a brand new profession that you're excited about. You need to pause and think exactly what you want to do. You got the card of seek wonder. And, I think that's what we all need to do. I'm all about positivity and just looking at what is going to feed your soul, what you want your life's mission to be, what you want to accomplish in your life. And, look for that wonder. And then when you know in your heart what you want to do and you're going to embrace this, take a leap of faith and jump out of your comfort zone. That's not particularly a divine feminine message, but this is what the card said for you, Celine. And so I honored them.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I had quite a bit to go back up, and so I just left a message for A. Hello, A, new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. We are not doing personal messages, but we're doing Divine Feminine. Mondays we do, Nancy and I do Divine Feminine messages. We talk about the Divine Feminine and the Goddess, and we usually pull a card or two, maybe 3. For people who would like just, a general message from the Goddess or the Divine Feminine. And hello, Moira. So if you'd like to still hang out with us, feel free to. And Peace Mama. Hello, Peace Mama. She says, hi, all. I'm back. Oh, are you back? Okay, good to see you, Peace Mama. And there's TK going through, all saying all the hellos. Everyone's saying hi. Put me into the chat. They are pulling cards with a. Oh, okay, if they wanted to. Celine says, I'm warning myself as an athlete that didn't pan out how I wanted and had to walk away. So, yes, that's something that we are allowed to grieve for. Some people think that we're only allowed to grieve, with the loss of, of a loved one or something. But there's all areas in our life that we grieve. It's not, we're not that simple. We're humans. We're complex. We have all those emotions. So, let's see. Got to go now. Okay, bye, Kristen. Thank you for popping in. Wow, talk about mourning. Very timely for me. We just lost a loved one that was a high profile story. Oh, really, Peace Mama? I'm so sorry for your loss, my dear.
Yeah.
Okay, peekaboo. Okay. My heart goes out to all those who are mourning today in their lives. Be gentle with yourself. Grief pops up in strange ways. Yes. Peace and love.
And I have learned it's very important to embrace your grief. Don't stifle it. You have to work. I think everybody has a different process. And what I did was I just embraced it and I gave myself time. And I came out just fine, I mean, but it was a process. It was a process.
And I learned, because my counselor Kathy, she did the group on grief, and they said Kubler Ross says that there's these stages, and you go through them, and then that's it. But no, you will fluctuate between back and forth of them. We're not cookie cutter. We're not book. We are. We're not a science project. We go through all these different stages of grief, guilt, mourning, in all different ways. We're all different, and so there's no really right way. It's all
Mm-hmm.
how we process it, and it has no timing. Exactly. So Ange is up next, and I did put you in for a divine feminine message. So thank you for hanging out with us and staying. And people just realize too that when we do these mini readings, a lot of these messages resonate for everybody. So a lot of these mini readings are very collective, in nature.
I have something to say about grief,
Okay.
if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think a lot of times when we grieve, we are there is this feeling of regret, and there is a feeling of guilt. And when you take the thing that you're grieving for, the person that you're grieving for, if maybe your last conversation was not a good one necessarily, when they pass, they see something that they didn't see here. They have a broader understanding, and they have a light that they didn't quite have a grasp on here. And they will immediately forgive you. I believe that. I believe that. And it took me a while to get to that point, And I think that's a lesson for everybody to think about, because when we pass, we look at things from a different perspective, because we're perfect then. At least that's what I believe. And I just thought I'd share that.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Nancy. And Ange says, sorry, ladies, my internet just cut out, but I'm here though. All right. Gotcha, Ange. And Lynn, I did put you into the mix. So let's see. So I already pulled for Ange. So Ange, I got the card, A Life Well Lived. Oop, let me get I don't think you guys can see that there. Okay. A Life Well Lived. And this is one of my favorite cards. I love the teals, the turquoise, the greens, just absolutely stunning. And that is your card. And the title of the card, well, not the title, the message is Whatever You Want. And it says, it is here, this moment. You can do whatever you set your mind to. So get up and do whatever you dream. So this is about following your dreams, following your bliss, following, that that passion that you have. You are authentic and genuine, living a life worth living. You share your wealth, whatever it might be, and pass on your knowledge and encouragement freely. You love deeply. And I can tell everybody in chat that this is Ange. Ange and I used to read on a regular basis when we first started out a few years ago. And Ange was always so very intuitively connected into people she was reading for, and her insight, and even outside of tarot, her studies, her dedication to her spirituality, her family, her job. So Ange, you have everything that you need to get to go for those dreams, to follow your bliss. And the healing heart card came out again. And I think again, this is going to be very collective for us. I got the remorseful heart, forgive and move ahead. And kind of like looking at the past and having our moment to mourn it, but knowing that we have that big, beautiful moon behind us. We can tap into that intuition again, and we can move forward. We have the beautiful purple that connects us to our guides, our higher selves, and to we can kind of look at the past for a bit, sit with it, acknowledge it, and then to let it go, to give it love. And that's what I have for you, my dear. And I'm going to give you over to Nancy.
Ange, I have three beautiful cards for you. The first one is to follow your path, and it says, have courage to follow your own path. And, sometimes that's not always easy, but look at this. Look at the moon. There's some unknown, and just look at the majesty of that goddess. And look at the path. It's covered. It's beautiful trees, but I just see such depth of purpose in this card. And it ties in with the life purpose card. Manifest your dreams. You know what your dreams are, and you have the power to make them come true. And there may be some things. Look at this. She has stars in her hands. There may be something that you don't even realize yet about your path and what is happening. But I'm very excited for you, because I think that something wonderful is happening in your life. And the final card, I went for some Crone wisdom, and this is the card of wisdom. And this is what it says, Ange. The wise woman begins by knowing herself. As we acknowledge our own needs, we can then give freely to others. We are the keepers of traditions for our families, tribes, and communities. Our life experience brings deep, thorough, mature understanding and insight. Our value lies in our sound judgment and keen perception. Trust your knowing. And that's what I have for you, Ange.
Beautiful.
Thing for you.
And that. I jumped. I'm
sorry.
It's okay,
my phone is turned down. I don't understand what's happening. I've got
it's a message from the universe calling.
On airplane mode.
The divine feminine has something to say. Pay attention, Ange.
Oh, goodness.
Ange is talking about, technology.
Yeah.
But Ange, Nancy had her second card again too. Following your dreams, following, it's all in your hands. It's all, it's right there. So we both got the same message for you.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Hey, Gerald, he says, I jumped too. So I think we all did. The guys want to make sure you're listening.
I don't know. I don't understand how you can have your phone muted. And let me turn this. Wait a minute. There we go. All right.
And she says, love you both, my beautiful friends. Wow, both of your readings interconnect so perfectly. Powerful. And peace, Mama. I am using the first cards are from the Resurrection Oracle. I don't have the book for the other one, but it's called Healing Heart by, I believe it's Ina Segal, and it's the same artist, Jenna Della Gratalia. So I went ahead and already pulled for Amanda. So I'm just going to scoop myself over here.
Yeah, this is Amanda. Okay.
This is Amanda. And okay, that is not the right page. So, Amanda, you are one of a kind, and this card is all about believing in yourself. And I just love this, like Marie Antoinette French Rococo hairstyle. This is just beautiful. And the beautiful little star in her hand. You are that star. And you're holding it, and and she's dreaming. She's holding that star in her hand, and she's believing in the power of herself, in the power of the universe. Like when we were younger and we were told that little rhyme, the starlight, that's actually a spell. You're putting your intention to that star. You're asking that star's light to bring you whatever your wishes were. So that's a beautiful form of spell work that we're taught as children, and that we still pass on to our children. So this card is all about believing in yourself. But it wants to make sure, the question is, are you numbing yourself with an addiction or self medicating to get through the days? There are so many reasons why humans do this. Perhaps you are a survivor of trauma, and it helps keep your thoughts or nightmares at bay. Um, Whatever the reason, whatever unhappiness may be in your life, just know that you are worthy. I am worthy. I am are two of the most powerful words you can put before any sentence, especially when it's about yourself. It says here, you are like a star. There is no one out there like you. You are perfectly, I love this, Nancy, you are perfectly imperfect.
Yeah.
That's what being human is all about. So
Yes.
start your day with at least one affirmation. They also talk about journaling. I'm big on journaling, whether it's um, for me, my journaling these days is poetry, writing down words, hearing lyrics that resonate with me, that seem to be a message for me. Um, just connecting and being in the moment, listening to relaxing music, feeling my body, the energy, where things, if I start feeling something, where are those feelings again coming from? We all have these unique gifts, and they're saying to find yours. We're all unique. I'm just looking to see if you are feeling stuck and in a self-destructive loop. And again, this is for us all on a collective. We have those moments, that stinking thinking, like Kathy likes to say, where we need to start thinking outside of the box and start looking at ourselves in a more positive light, in a more compassionate way. Um, if you're feeling stuck and in a self-destructive loop, talk to someone, anyone. For me, I've been blessed with Kathy for 7 years. When you can find someone that you can talk to, that will not judge, that will listen, that will hold space for you and be there for you, you hold on to them. That's a gift from Spirit, a gift from God. Um, Ask them not to judge, but to rather listen. It's so important these days that we really listen to one another. We don't necessarily have to have an answer for everything. Me, I like to have an answer or try to have something, but what's really important is being in the moment with another person, holding that space and listening to them and letting them know that you're present and you are aware, and that what they're sharing with you is a sign of vulnerability, which a lot of us are afraid to have. And that is a powerful gift that somebody gives you. And the other card that I have for you is Prospering Heart. And it says, look for beauty, abundance, and generosity. And with that card, look for that in yourself first and foremost. That you hold the key. That is all within you. And that's what I have for you, Amanda. Give you over to Nancy.
That's beautiful, Heather.
And hello, Tom.
Yes. And I did you see Judith's comment?
I have to go up now.
Sending a lot of light and love to Judith and Celine.
Spears was cut short because I took in a rescue dog. Oh, was attacked by this dog. Oh,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Um, Amanda, I have three cards for you. The first card is the card of strength, and it's know your strength. And I look at
Mm,
this of you. You are this goddess, and you are strong. There's some unknown things. There's some emotion, but uh, you've got it. You know, you have the support of your angels and your spirit guides. It's important for you to center yourself. Look at this. Not only is she centering herself, but she's also grounded. Her her legs and her feet are deep in the roots. And that's so important going forward, because it helps us to be who we truly are. But I think the most important card for you is the card of self-love. We have to love every part of ourselves. And we're perfectly imperfect, but the imperfection makes us who we are. We're all different, we're all unique, and we all have these different assets that work together so that we can come together and be there for each other. And I love this for you because there's just so much magic surrounding you, and the light within you. And just remember to always love yourself. That's what I have for you, Amanda.
All righty. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I had a phone call come in and it knocked me, froze me. I was jumping in and out and I'm like, what? It's 6:20. Why is some medical office calling me at this time? No. So, all righty. Let me just see. Let's see. So beautiful, Nancy. Thank you so much. And animals have such an impact on our protective instinct. Yeah. And so, Leah, you are actually up next. She says she will take anything and be happy.
Aw. Let's see what we have for Leah.
And I love the kitty cat picture, Leah. That's such a sweetie. I'm surprised the other one hasn't come in and wanted, his video time. He must have eaten, has a full belly, and he's sleeping. So, Leah, are you sick and tired about something? I have the sick and tired card. I just love this card. Kind of makes me laugh because she's so very dramatic in the picture, but for sometimes a lot of us, that's what you feel like. I think Fatima got this last week. So the card I have for you from the Resurrection deck is Sick and Tired. And she's sitting here on her beautiful throne, her chair, and she's just leaning back and she's just had enough. Whether this is she's just sick and tired of the drama, or that perhaps there's something you may not be feeling well. And again, just for entertainment purposes only, I'm not diagnosing anything. I'm not a doctor, but this could also represent maybe something physically or internally that you might be experiencing. So, and sometimes that positive phrase, I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired. But the main key words is guilt free. So this is about releasing guilt, releasing shame. Um, and this again, have you taken on too much? People asking you, wanting to people please. This card is about being overwhelmed. It says here, maybe a spouse, partner, work, cooking, chauffeur, caregiver. How much are you expanding your energy, but no one's giving you enough time, or you're not taking enough time for yourself to replenish that. And when we do that, it does make our bodies, our immune systems weak. This is fact. This is not, again, me not diagnosing or coming up with it. This is just fact. When we get exhausted, whether it's on all levels, mental, physical, emotional, even spiritual, it can cause a dis-ease in our bodies. And we need to make sure we're getting plenty of rest, drinking plenty of water, making sure we're eating properly, and having enough time to get grounded and taking care of ourselves. That's basically here exactly what this card is all about. And it says it is okay to say no to something that will make you sick and or tired. Again, a card of creating healthy boundaries. Um, it says here's the real question to ask yourself, and this is really true for everybody as well. Will saying no give me time to breathe, Wait, where did I just listen? Well, okay. Well, saying no, give me time to breathe and be healthier and happier. So we need to start, you need to start, and we all need to start taking time, putting those boundaries up, and making sure we are finding time for ourselves so that we're replenished, we're healed, we're relaxed, we're eating properly, we're getting enough rest, and just making sure that people are not taking advantage of us. And this is also being caught into the drama, so not being sucked into other people's drama. And your other card for the healing heart, face your shadow and grow. So this is the healing heart. So making sure you're taking your time for yourself, that whatever is coming at you, where you're just so sick and tired of all this onslaught of negative energy, people pleasing, not enough time for yourself. If you're noticing that people are maybe triggering you, or that things are being brought up that are causing you trauma, to start tapping in, start doing some shadow work, start healing your heart, and start reconnecting with your own inner self, your own higher self, but really that inner child, and getting grounded again with Mother Earth. Summer's here for the Northern Hemisphere for most of us. I was blessed enough to be able to go and earth yesterday. I was able to go to the park. The grass hadn't been cut yet. It's green. It was beautiful. Put my feet right down in it. And boy, that beautiful energy that came right up. So that's for you, my dear.
Um, Leah, I have three really, I think, interesting cards for you. The first one is the card of awakening. And if you look at this, this is a mermaid. And I want you to look, she is resting. Her eyes are closed, but her third eye is open. And I want you to look at her chest. Um, Her heart is open. See the eye of her heart? And there's something new that is allowing you to see with new eyes. And the interesting thing is, I'm using goddess deck. Well, this is a mermaid deck, but I consider it a goddess deck. But I am using goddess decks. But the message that the second card that I got from you is a card of bravery, and it says explore your inner wild places. And I want you to look at the animals. There's the moon and there's a quality of the unknown in that, but there's a unicorn and there's a wolf. But look at the bear. Look how close the bear is to her. And it looks like a grizzly bear. And then the third card is a card of allies. And I want you to look at this bear. And I'm getting a message from, I pulled out my animal book because I want you to read what it says. I want to read you what it says about bears, because I think this message is important for you, Leah. It says, set clear boundaries and don't compromise, even if pressured. Ask for what you want, whether or not you feel you'll get it. Get going on that creative project you have in mind. Take some time out from your usual routines and spend time in solitude. You may be in need of physical or emotional healing. Be gentle and slow your love to those you're close to, and show your love to those you're close to. To find answers to your questions, go inside rather than reading or consulting others. And then the brown bear, the grizzly, it says, stay grounded no matter what. It's time to bring your dreams and plans to fruition. Enough hiding. It's time to come out and meet the world. And don't just wait for something to happen. Take action now. So I think that, maybe the the grizzly bear is your spirit animal or a totem animal. I don't know if you have ever.
She met. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Has she ever? Has that ever come up before? Have you ever felt a closeness to that? Because I think out of the two decks, these two bears, the same kind of bear coming out at the same time is very important for you. So that's what I have.
I'm sorry, Nancy. She said, I think so, because she mentioned grandmother bear. at the
Oh,
bottom.
okay.
So, but she
Oh,
said that she
oh, did she do
rested.
that earlier? I
No, that
didn't.
was just a little bit lower, but she shared
Oh,
something, and she says, rested my baby to sleep last month. It hurts. So I think she had to bury one of her babies. I think it was a pet. And the ashes are
oh,
going to be spread. So I don't know if this is a pet. This might be the white kitty, maybe
yeah.
in her picture.
Oh,
But she said that awe the grandmother bear. So she understands
okay.
the
Okay.
medicine.
Okay.
So bears are both of them are keepers of the dream lodge. Okay.
Okay.
I
Well,
often
then
draw that animal. I'm
that's your
protective and
message,
wise.
Lance.
Yes, she lost her kitty. I'm sorry. So that's her kitty
Yes,
right
that's
there in the
hard.
picture.
That's hard.
Yeah,
We love our fur
never
babies,
easy.
don't we?
hmm
Yes.
I still really mourn my Lilu, and she's been gone for almost about 7 years now, 6, 7 years. Hello, Karen. Just now seeing this, I took my brother for an appointment. Oh, just woke up. Sometimes naps are good in the afternoon.
Oh,
So, do you have enough for two more readings? We have A
well,
is still here, and then we have Teelan, who is still here.
okay. Let's see. Estelle is first. Oh, A is
No,
first.
A, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we just ask that everybody who, especially new to the channel, so welcome all my newbies, our newbies, that if you ask for a reading, just to be present in chat so that when we call, we know that you're here. And because we like the feedback, we like it's good to have the energy of the person in chat as well. And we appreciate that. It's very respectful to the readers. And oh, Leah, my heart's to you too, my sweetheart. Oh, Judith says, I see 13 watching and only 4 thumbs up. These ladies deserve the thumbs up. Oh, thank you, Judith. And Peace Mama said, I absolutely agree. These readings are touching my heart as well, flowing. I know why I came today. Oh my goodness, you people. Our subscribers. I had a rough afternoon, so thank you. This is really making a difference. And Teelan, are you still here too, my dear? You will be our last reading for the evening. I still have Nancy on the big screen. I'm going to go overhead here. So, A, for you, I have finding your spirituality. And she is just, I keep saying I love the artwork. I love all the artwork in this deck, but I just love the reds. This feels very sacral, chakra, lower chakras. Where we tap into our sensuality, our sexuality, our groundedness to Mother Earth. We're connected to it's that passion, that fight or flight that gives us that inspiration, that catalyst to pursue, to move, to explore. And for 25, let me just see here because it says your soul food. So your spirituality is your soul food. So you may be in search of discovering or maybe discovering your spirituality. You may have been raised with one particular religion or spirituality, and you're trying to find maybe you're growing. Maybe your beliefs aren't quite the same anymore. You want to explore, see what other different cultures or spiritual beliefs, um, what they contain in their wisdom and in their knowledge. And because it says here, yes, some of us take the spiritual path of our parents. So this is us starting out on our journey, where as we're adults, where now we can take a look at our lives moving forward. Each person has their own journey and destination. It is great to find a spiritual community and be with others who share your beliefs and thoughts. And it's equally important to remember others may not find your beliefs in line with their own. And this is okay. And so this is about you staying on that path, exploring your spirituality. This also could represent exploring because of the very red, the very the sacral chakras. Um, this could be exploring sexuality, um, fluidity, the spirituality, it all coming connected where it may not line up with others in our families or our friends, but may very well resonate deeply within us. And your healing heart card is the trapped heart. Step outside your comfort zone. So this is about if you want to explore different spiritualities, religions, mystical beliefs, um, ancient wisdoms, the trapped heart. This is about you taking that chance, unlocking that cage, and exploring what is in your heart and wanting to find out what's out there and not to be afraid. I just love the antlers that come out of her head and they're blossoming. Just a really beautiful card. Stepping outside your comfort zone and making sure that though what you explore it feels safe to you, what feels right to you. You don't want to force something or have someone force something on you that doesn't feel right. Intuitively, you will know. We're all talking about that red color, that those red and orange chakras, even getting up into the yellows and a little bit of the green, the balancing of our heart, our spirituality, our creativity. So thank you for letting us read for you, A. I hope that resonated with you, and we'll give you over to Nancy and Dolly. Hey, Wolf
Yes,
Girl, we were
I'm
talking
so
about you
I'm so
earlier.
happy that she got Chrissy home from the hospital. Yay.
Oh, Chrissy was in the hospital.
Yeah, she had to take her.
Oh no, Dolly, honey, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
good that she's home.
um, thank you, Peace Mama. About the grizzly bear. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I have three cards for you, and I really like these are cards of joy. And I love that for you. The first one is just joy, and it's from the Crone deck. And it says, seek out what brings you joy. Is it a special person, a union with nature, an awareness of the small and profound? Nurture happiness, pleasure, and delight, and you will be filled with the fresh energy and lightning of the spirit. Remember, joy is contagious. Open your heart and eyes. And the second card is happiness in the joy of life. We have some more animals here, and she has a basket full of eggs, and she looks so, so happy. But the third card is the one I'm excited about because I had never pulled this card before, and it says, listen the world open. And I want you to look at that. Look at her. She's holding a lily, and there are birds all around her and flowers. And it says, listen the world open. And I want to read you what it says because
Oh, I
it's
love that.
beautiful. To listen deeply is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves and each other. To listen isn't passive, it's an act of generosity and creativity that opens up a blossoming space inside the soul. Stop all distractions, slow way down. Listen to what is around and inside you. When we listen, each other open, the way the sun listens to the blossoms into a lily, wild woman rises. And I love that. Listen to what is around and inside you. When we listen each other open, the way the sun listens, the blossoms into a lily, wild woman rises. That's
Oh,
powerful.
that's
Mm,
beautiful.
I think so.
Well, thank you, A, for subscribing and joining. I hope you enjoyed your readings. And everybody's sending Chrissy all lots of healing and stuff. We're so happy to hear
Yeah.
that she's feeling better. I had appendicitis and that pain was incredible. I can't imagine pancreatitis. Oh,
Yes, Astara. Let's see. Where did
yeah,
you go? What did I do with her? Here she is.
yep. And there's her hair.
Yeah.
And Dolly says, It is my goal to be the wildest woman ever.
Yes.
And
I'll tell you.
everybody, this is Dolly will be joining Nancy, myself, and Linda Dane Gonzalez in the upcoming weeks for a special show featuring their beautiful fur babies. Sounds like Agador's taking a little nap, but Dolly has a beautiful, her and Chrissy adopted a beautiful, um, oh, why did I just forget what?
African gray.
African gray named Reuben,
Yes.
and everybody knows Linda's beautiful Wanda, um, and her little budgies that she has. So, and
Oh,
hopefully, my little cardinal outside, Freddie, will make an appearance, and you can hear him sing. So,
yeah.
stay tuned. I'm so excited. So our last reading for the evening is T. Lynn.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
And
see.
I have a couple cards already pulled for you. Ruben makes me smile. He sure does, especially when Dolly goes and does the little Ruben cam, and you see him. I mean, he's just so adorable. Shan used to have a conure, so when I see birds and stuff, I have to share with them and go, "Oh, look at this bird." So, so for T. Lynn, I got face value and beautiful art. I mean, she's staring you right in the eyes. She is not, you are not escaping her gaze. She says, "This is who I am. Accept me at face value." Let me go up a little bit further just to see if any other messages pop out. This is okay. My word is my bond. So you will take me at face value. You can take me at face value. Um, do what's true to you. So this is being true and authentic to yourself and to others. Um, This means simply speak the truth. It's walking your walk and talking your talk. When you meet someone for the first time, you are taking them at face value, trusting their actions, words, and demeanor. Let's see what else jumps out here at me. Honesty is the best policy. That's being true to you. So this card is all about being authentic, being honest, and being aware of when you meet new people or people that you know, noticing, what is it that they're saying, what are their actions, what is their demeanor, what is their body language, learning to trust into that intuition that you develop. Because when we come from a place of authenticity, I think we have a bit of a stronger sense of being able to sense another person's place of authenticity, because because it will resonate a little bit stronger with us. And so listening to that inner guidance, that inner compass, and the healing card. It's like, okay, Teelan. It says, hungry heart, awaken the true song of your heart. So this could be possibly, I don't know if you're going through a relationship of some kind. Um, it says hungry heart. This is kind of like a lover's card from the tarot. Um, but it's talking about awakening the true song of your heart. So this could be a relationship. This could be somebody that you met. It could be an intimate, or it could be just a very deep platonic friendship. Um, and with face value, learning. So this could very well be somebody maybe coming into your life, and you are looking at them like with being face value. When you talk to them, you can sense you're authentic. When you're authentic with other people, they will be hopefully authentic with you. So it feels like these two cards are tying in that way. And this card can also, on a more deeper level, spiritual level, is you awakening your own heart, your own authenticity, what you recognize as your soul's true calling. Because everyone says soulmates, where's my soulmate? We are our soulmate, because we are not. Nancy and I were talking about this too backstage. We are not, some people think that they're not whole unless they have a partner in their life, or if they're married. And we can't expect another person to fill that space in our heart. We have to do that first. Another person coming to that will just enhance, the beauty of our lives and nourish our lives and be that beautiful support. um but we have to be that for ourselves first and foremost. And I will end with that. And I'm curious to see what Nancy gets because that was an interesting card. And hi, Beth.
Yeah. Now, what was the name of the person we're reading for? I pulled
Oh,
these cards.
T-Lyn.
T-Lyn. Okay, T-Lyn. I got 4 cards for you, and the first one is the card of multi-dimensional, and it says your soul is multifaceted. Release anything that puts you in a box or feels limiting. Here are all these little kitty cats in a box. Excuse me. The cards that I pulled for you, T-Lyn, I think you have some work to do regarding your strength. The first thing is to remember who you are. Don't get lost in the circumstances. You know, focus on who you are and your life and what you need and what you want, what you're here for. And protect your flow. Protect yourself. Watch your own back and let feelings and emotions flow through you to heal you. I mean, there might be some inner child work that you have to do. Your higher self may be wanting to talk to you about the divine feminine and how you need to embrace that. We all need to come to that place, because the most important thing, the most important card I think for you is to reclaim your soul skin.
There you go, Lynn.
Reclaim who you are, who you truly are, who you were meant to be. And don't let anything get in your way. And be sure to nourish yourself and to love yourself and to be gentle with yourself. And that's what I have for you. That's a lot of work, but you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I think that it will change. It will change. Yeah. So you need to nurture yourself, and you need to realize that you are deeply loved. You've got ancestors behind you. You have got your spirit guides. You have got your guardian angels, and they're all here for you. What you need to do is call on them, open yourself up to them, and then listen. And I love that for you, because it's going to be a wonderful adventure.
She says, thank you. Feels sort of spiritually chaotic. These things shake you to your core. Yep. And that face value, being authentic. You knew what was authentic and wasn't, what wasn't right for you. And you stood in your power, and you took that back. And I had gotten, this card, and, it's a male, and, well, it's 2 people, awaken the true son. So it's like, it's like she's reclaiming her heart again. She's healing the 2 sides of herself.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's easy to hate on, the opposite sex of whoever may have hurt us or people. And to, like she had said, she's got her BS meter up high all the time. So just
it's
really
hard. It's hard. Yeah. And we have to rely on ourselves a lot, and who we are, and we're here for each other. Heather and I, we're here every Monday.
Mm-hmm. And Dolly says Megan's wrong.
Don't rise.
So, and Nancy joined Jeff and I last night in sharing her beautiful poetry. So that was wonderful.
I had fun. They're such good company.
So everyone's just giving
and
Lynn
Jeff,
love. Yeah.
His name is Jeff Bailey, and he has 2 books of poetry that are available on Amazon. And you can get them in Kindle format, or one of them is an audiobook. But I got them last night and I have been reading them today and I absolutely love them. So I recommend that. His poetry makes
Two
you
thumbs
think.
up.
Yes, his poetry makes you think.
Wonderful. And thank you, Tom. That's always a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when it's painful, it's still a good time.
Mm.
So thank you, everybody. Nancy, do you have anything coming up? Any special collabs this week?
Not this week. Well, next Monday we're on, and then no, wait a minute. This Thursday, no, yeah, this Thursday I have something with Sylvia at 8 o'clock. A colorful foresight. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking about angels and spirit guides. So
That'll be lovely. So
yeah,
make sure to check
yeah,
out.
I'm looking forward to it.
And let's see.
Oh, Amanda, I just love the poetry show on Sundays.
Let's see. Lynn says, not hurting, but had to forgive myself for lack of knowledge that landed me there. I pray to guides and ancestors daily and feel their presence. That's beautiful.
Yes, yes.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing that with
Mhm.
us. Yeah, I went 7 years without a relationship before I really met Shan, because I just saw the same cycles in my family on both sides of just accepting whoever, and the abuse, whether
Mhm.
it was physical and or mental, emotional. And it was like, whoever I didn't date a lot of guys. I didn't, and I told every single one of them, including Shan, the first time you lay a hand on me or curse me really bad, be really demeaning, it'll be your last time.
Yeah.
Because I was just not going to. I had to live with that with my mom and her one
Mhm.
boyfriend too. So when you experience that kind of trauma, it makes you strong. So T Lynn, you're strong. We're all strong. We've all been there. And now we can just learn those lessons from the past. It's made us stronger. It's made us wiser. And we'll be able to know moving forward, you
Mm.
know, better choices that we make, Um, thank you, Dolly. So, and Lynn, I hope you never land in that place again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there will not be any Tarot Tuesday talks tomorrow. Ray might be taking some time off for personal stuff, and it's canning season, summer coming. So Jackie and I will be doing a investigative tarot on Wednesday. We're actually going to be looking at the cult of Carlos Castaneda.
Mm.
He was a new age woo woo kind of writer that started out in the late 60s, 70s, had a series of books out claiming that he was taught by a shaman named Don Juan. And Chan has some of the books, and he says they are very insightful, but as always, a cult grew out of it, and there were women. And after his death, five of them disappeared. One was found dead. They still don't know, what happened. Her remains were found in 2003. So Jackie and I are just going to take a look at to see what happened to her and what happened to the other women. So we're going to be reading on that on Wednesday. Thursday, I might do a pop up, and then Friday
Mhm.
we have Allison and I. Allison's back this week, and Moon Scarab Ramon will be joining us for a discussion on the Santa Muerte. And they'll be, showcasing the deck, and he'll be sharing his, his heritage and wanting to express her
Yes.
truth, talk about who, who she truly is, and not the
Uh-huh.
society misgivings.
Yeah.
He wants to present her in the proper light. So looking forward to that this Friday. So and of course Sunday, back with the poetry.
Yeah. Oh,
uh,
and T Lynn, I'm excited about that crystal you got. That is wonderful. What a lovely gift.
he says he doesn't really believe, but doesn't poo-poo it for me. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, clear quartz, you can program that, T-Lin, for anything.
Oh,
Those
yes.
are amplifiers. And if he doesn't believe in that, then quartz goes into our phones. It goes into our computers. Quartz is in our bloodstream. I mean, quartz is you know, it's real. It's scientifically proven to have energy to it. So that's awesome. Yeah, Dolly says, I harvested 20 pounds of rhubarb over the weekend. Woo! My freezer is full, and this is only the first harvest. Oh my. Well, Dolly, you are
Good.
very bountiful,
Yes.
and they were going to make wonderful pies indeed. So oh, I just love everyone showing each other the love. Quartz, like water, is life. Yep. Ooh, rhubarb cake. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm getting hungry now. So.
I'm hungry too. I wonder why.
I don't know. It could be we're talking about food and harvest and bounty.
Yes.
So everybody, thank you again, Nancy, and I appreciate you so much for
Been
supporting
one.
us every week. This is
Thank
one of my most highly viewed shows, and I have the wonderful Nancy to really thank for that, for
you.
joining me and making it so special. And you guys in chat make it so special as well. And we will see you on the next show. And everyone have a great evening.